I moved out at 18 years old and this is my first time living alone. So I really want to make sure everything about my apartment is as perfect as possible. One of the main reasons I got this apartment was just because of the view from the living room. So I'm gonna be spending a lot of time here and need to make the living room look perfect. But before I start doing anything, in about 5 minutes, I have some people coming to mount the 85-inch TV onto the wall. After an hour, the TV is completely mounted and it honestly is like perfectly lined up kind of in the center. And now it's time to actually add the couches. So here is the couch and each of them are actually their own individual piece, so I can kind of make it exactly how I want. Obviously the backrests aren't on them, but I think I'm gonna do a kind of L shape and have it kind of come over here and then kind of have a small L over here just so it kind of separates the living room and the kitchen area. I also have to add all the backrests and pillows onto them, so let's just do that and kind of see how everything kind of matches. So all the backrests are on the couches and what you guys can see is they actually all lift up and there's a little bit of storage, but we actually have some hooks just so we can connect the whole couch together and it's not sliding. So all you have to do is kind of line it up to these little holes over here. So that's what I'm gonna do and then just kind of lock in the shape of it. And just like that, the entire couch is set up and you can see we have a little bit of space between the wall and the edge of the couch, which I have on purpose because I'm probably gonna add like a plant, a lamp or something over there. But you can see the living room is definitely coming together. It's just super, super plain right now. I ordered a few new things for the living room kind of transformation and one of them just arrived right now. So I'm gonna go and pick that up. I actually had two packages and one of them was the rug and the other one is the coffee table. But first, I'm actually gonna unbox the rug, which is gonna go right over here. I ordered this rug off of Amazon and it actually had a lot of reviews. In my old house, I honestly had almost the exact same rug. This one is just a little bit smaller and honestly, it's more of a carpet because a rug is, I don't know why I'm calling it a rug. It was folded up like really, really tight. So it's probably gonna take a while for it to actually like look nice because it just has like a bunch of kind of squares on it, but let me just see how it kind of fits. The actual dimensions of this were 5 by 8, which should perfectly kind of match this part of the room. Just trying to get it opened. Okay, just like that. I didn't really want a huge rug and I think I'm gonna kind of just put it, honestly, I think I'm gonna put it like right over here and I just need to lift it right under this little leg, just like that and kind of pull it. Okay, just like that. I honestly think that's perfect because I didn't want to get one that was too big, but I think this is the best. I could even bring it a little bit more under here, but I kind of like the wood floor kind of poking out a bit. So yeah, what I was talking about is since it was so folded up, you can see each little square that it was kind of packaged into. Over time, or especially if I like vacuum it or something or kind of play around with it, it should kind of like separate, but for now it is looking pretty good. And it's now time to set up the coffee table. I have no idea how hard this is gonna be to set up because sometimes off of Amazon, they're really easy or just really hard. Honestly, I'm just hoping it isn't like a million pieces because that would just take such a long time. When I ordered it, it also came with a second piece that was a little bit smaller, so I don't know if I'm gonna even set that up, honestly. All right, so here it is, and you can see this is the first outer ring, so this is the little bigger one, and then there's a smaller one, which is this one right over here. Okay, and then this is for the actual main stand, and of course all the little stands to actually put this thing together. The actual main stand itself is done, so the only thing we need to do left is just add the glass and hopefully it just, like, I don't even know how it's supposed to connect. All right, and then I think I should just add this on. I wanna make sure everything's like lined up good. Okay, everything looks pretty much lined up just like that, and then literally just push it down. Wait, I'm gonna kind of lift it from the glass and see if it like falls down. Okay, no, it actually is connecting to the suction cups. Perfect. All right, so now let's just speed through and build the second one real quick. So I just finished putting both of them together and it honestly left a huge mess on my floor. There's just styrofoam everywhere, but for the main actual coffee table, I'm just gonna put it like right there for now. Obviously, I'm gonna move that. And then for this one, I'm not really sure. I think I'm just gonna put it here kind of for decoration. I might change this. I always change things around, but I think this corner just kind of fits it for now. The living room is definitely coming together, but it's just very, very plain. Literally everything here is black and kind of dull. So let's add a little bit more life to it with some fake IKEA plants. So I added one bamboo plant over on this corner, and then I added a smaller one because I didn't want anything to really block the TV too much. I was gonna add one over here, but the pot would have made it like way too far from the wall. I just didn't like that, but I did notice I'm actually missing all the kind of cushions for the couch. So let's go get those real quick. All right, just like that. So now it definitely has more of a homey vibe to it, but I do have one more small piece of furniture. So I always eat on my couch. So I have this little table and it can slide right underneath. So you can see, I can put it right over here and just kind of slide it underneath. Just like that, you got a little nice hidden table. I might put a fake plant, but for now, I think that's looking fine. Obviously, there is a lot I can actually decorate in here because I really haven't started, but I do need to actually set up the TV first. Entire living room is already coming together really, really good, but I actually have a ton of packages that I'm still waiting for. However, I have some old decorations and posters that I'm probably gonna add around this wall over here and just around the entire place. So I do have a lot of posters. We got like a Weeknd, Tyler the Creator, and then of course Travis Scott, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna just add 3 of them. I don't want to go too overkill. Honestly, I suck at hanging up posters because I just kind of eyeball it and change it as it goes. Okay, just like that. Honestly, wait, let's get that centered. Yeah, right there is good enough. Yeah, that's good. All right, I low-key got that pretty much perfect in just like a few minutes. Honestly, it definitely could be a little bit like more aligned, but for your boy Vermax, that's good enough. Okay, I think just this one M4 one honestly fits because it's green and it kind of matches the green plant on the other side. I'm just gonna add this one kind of M4 one just to add a little bit of art, I guess. As you guys can see, it definitely is coming together a lot more, but one of the most important things about a living room or what everyone has are lamps. So I'm gonna actually add a few floor lamps, and I actually wanna add one over on this corner, one that kind of hangs a little bit just to kind of give it a homey vibe. And I can kind of fit the plate under here and kind of just have the pole stick up a little bit. So I'm gonna add one probably on each of these corners over here and just see how that looks for now. All 3 of them honestly fit perfectly, and I have this little light on just to show you guys. It's so bright outside that the RGB is just barely showing, and I mean, it's 4:50 and I am still waiting for some packages. So honestly, I'm gonna wait until it's dark to continue adding more RGB and decorations, plus actually set up the packages that arrive, just so I can kind of like have this entire thing looking insane at night with all the RGB. So let's just cut to that. Okay, so it's now the next day. Clearly it's not nighttime and my package still didn't arrive. Basically, all the package was just some turf for the patio. I always have these sliding like windows open, but right now they're closed. However, I was kind of gonna add it part of the living room because it's kind of like right next to it. But anyways, I guess I might as well just finish the RGB in here. So I actually have a few things to really add RGB here because right now the only RGB is the lamps, and especially at night, I really want it to be looking crazy. So probably gonna be adding one of these RGB strips behind the TV and another one behind the couch. And then I also have this like kind of TV sensor thing that it will add RGB behind the TV. You can see the wires on it and it basically matches the same colors on the screen like into the wall, and it makes it like really immersive, so that's sick. stick. And then I have a few floodlights. This is what really makes the room like fully RGB. And if you guys really want like a lot of RGB in your room, this is definitely what you need. I have 2 right here, but I'm gonna probably put like a few around the room just to really like spice it up and make it like super colorful. But first, I'm just gonna start off with the RGB strips. Now I have most of the RGB lights in the actual living room setup, but my favorite one is this one that goes over the TV like I mentioned. So let me just get it all plugged in. Basically all you need to do is plug in the included cable, and then it goes into like this little dock over here. And then you plug in the little dock right there, just like that. And this main cable is the actual RGB strip that you put around the TV, which I already have done because this was in my old house. And then I just need the power cable, which I'm gonna route through the back. Okay, and then here is the power cable. We just stick it in like that. And if I actually power it on, you can see that there's already light behind the TV. I can change it to like a solid color. So if I wanted to also match it with like blue or purple, just like that. And you can see it actually looks really nice, but let's set it up behind the TV. And then I actually need to get this mounted on top so it can like color match the TV screen. All right, I'm gonna push this little TV stand back in place, kind of just like that. And then honestly, I'm just gonna stick this like literally anywhere. I'm just gonna stick it like right there. Doesn't really matter too much. And then with this stick, obviously you kind of just want to put it in the center on the top. So something like that right there should be perfect. And I can also actually push this in a little bit more, and I'm gonna cover the cables with the sound bar. Okay, so now you like barely see the cables at all. So now you can see there are a ton of RGB lights all around the living room, but they're just not bright at all because it's so bright outside. So I'm actually gonna do all the cinematics later when it's dark, but the very last thing I need to do is get all the decorations. So I'm just gonna put a few more plants around the entire living room and some other figures and like car stuff around, and just see where it kind of looks nice. And then let's just cut to the final cinematic after that. I absolutely love the way that this living room turned out. It honestly turned out way better than I expected, and there's just so much RGB and light anywhere, and I can kind of set whatever mood I want. So right now it's more on a chill vibe. Rate this room between 1 and 10 down below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like so I actually know you enjoy vlogs like this. Also, a little side note, it just looks so sick outside because you kind of have like this night city view, which just really kind of enhances it even more. If you want to see more transformation videos just like this one, make sure you drop a sub, but more importantly, remember Jesus loves you, and that's about it. God bless.